I gave my Hermes agent these web designs I built in Google Stitch and told it to convert it into a working application. And my Hermes agent kept working on it until it believed the job was finished. And this is what I got: a complete working application based on the designs that I had provided. This is Hermes Agent's goal feature. It keeps Hermes working on a task until it is finished and working as expected. Normally, when you give a task like implement a certain feature, the agent completes the task and then you review it. You find a few issues and you ask your agent again to fix it. The agent fixes those issues and then you find out there are some more issues and lint errors. This back and forth goes on until you get the output that you have in your mind. When you use goal, your instruction becomes a standing objective, and Hermes keeps working until that objective is achieved. How this works is, let's say you give a task with a goal command. Based on your prompt, Hermes will create an objective. Then it starts working on it just like a normal task. But when the turn ends, a judge model looks at the goal and evaluates your agent's latest response. Then it decides, is the goal finished or is there still meaningful work to do? If there's more work left, Hermes automatically gets another continuation prompt and starts with the next turn. Then the judge evaluates again and the loop continues until the objective is achieved. By default, Hermes has 20 turn continuation budget. If it reaches that limit, it pauses instead of running forever, and you can decide whether to resume it or not. So, this isn't just an infinite loop, it's work, evaluate, and continue if necessary. This turns value is a configurable parameter in your config file. You can set it based on complexity of your tasks. The judge model, which evaluates the responses based on your goal, is also configurable. By default, it will be the main model. Alright, now that you know what this goal feature is, let's see it in action. I created these designs for a budget and expense planner using Google Stitch. We have got dashboard, transactions, budgets, analytics, financial goals, connected accounts, and settings. 7 different screens, and I want them to turn into an actual working application. Normally, I could give a coding agent the designs, wait for it to build something, review the result, tell it what's missing, and ask it to continue, and repeat the same process until the application is built. But this time, I'm going to give Hermes the task using the goal command and mention the final outcome that I want. I will download all these designs. First, select everything, then click on export, select zip, and hit export. This will download all your screens. I have already downloaded the screens, so I won't do it again. Next, I will open the terminal in the folder where I have my Stitch designs. You see, in this folder, I have my Stitch designs. Now, in this folder, I will start a chat session with Hermes. I will type Hermes, press enter. I'm using Minimax M2.7 as my main model for this task. The command should start with /goal. Then I will type draft. I will explain what it does in a bit, and then my main prompt. Build a production ready application with this tech stack. And I've also mentioned where my designs are located, and I'm explicitly mentioning to treat these designs as a single source of truth and replicate them as it is, and following typography, spacing, layouts, and colors. I will be sharing this prompt with you, and you can find the link for it in the description. And now, coming back to draft, when you add this draft parameter in your goal command, before your Hermes agent starts building, it does something important. It first defines what finished actually means by drafting a completion contract. The completion contract will have outcome, which is the final state that must be achieved. Verification, which says how Hermes can verify the task is completed. Constraints include what must not break. Boundaries define what's in the scope. And lastly, stop when tells Hermes when it should stop and ask for help. And now let's start this task. I will hit enter. The first thing that a Hermes agent does is drafting the completion contract. If you have given something broad in your prompt, it creates a completion contract which becomes a more concrete definition of success. And this completion contract is used by the judge model to evaluate the responses each turn. As you can see, our agent has created a completion contract with outcome, verification, constraints, boundaries, and stop when. And once the completion contract was created, it started analyzing the test designs. And then it starts working on building the application. As you can see over here, Hermes Agent completed its first turn and summarized what it has done. In the first turn, it says it completed building all the 7 screens and the key features. And here, as you can see, the judge model is evaluating what's done and what's not according to the completion contract. And based on the evaluation, the judge model tells our agent what needs to be done. So it has asked our agent to check the actual implementation, check if the test passes or not, and our agent has started with the next turn. So this back and forth will go on until our judge model is satisfied with what's completed and what's in the completion contract, or until it runs out of the turns budget. Alright, our agent has finished working on the task and the goal is achieved according to the judge model. Let's see what we got. This is the output. Capital Flow Budget Planner application. This is the dashboard, and let's see what's test design. This was the dashboard in our test design. I see it got most of it correct. It's just this color is different. Instead of black, it has used a different purple color. Then we have the transactions page. Even this one is also pretty much similar to the designs. And even the budget screen, it has created it pretty much similar. The analytics, goals, accounts, and settings. Overall, I would say it did a decent job and it has matched almost 95% of our designs apart from the colors. Here's my final verdict. Instead of thinking about every individual instruction, I can think more about outcome. So instead of constantly asking what the agent should do next, I can spend more time asking what a successful result actually looks like. Now, this obviously doesn't mean that you can give Hermes any vague task and come back to a perfect production ready solution. The agent can still make mistakes and the judge model can still get things wrong. It might continue when the task is already finished or occasionally stop when there's still some work left. That's where the quality of goal and completion contract matters the most. The task that I gave today was a relatively complex task, but the best use cases for this goal feature would be fixing bugs, implementing a new feature, fixing lint errors or writing tests, migration plans like migrating to a new framework or databases, and debugging. So that's all I have for today. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.